How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting the fight. What's going on, people?
Okay, racism is on the uprise, people. Another racist loses their job after claiming that black people deserve police brutality and stuff. Now, this has been reported as of June the 7th, 2018. This is very disturbing, but I'm going to share this there with you. As far as racism is on the uprise, and I hate doing these stories, I swear, because I feel like the middle people who have no problem with people always get pulled in the midst of this negativity stuff, and it seems like we get to pay for something that has nothing to do with us. Now, a human resources supervisor of UPS, United Parcel Service in Atlanta, was terminated once offensive Facebook comments were exposed on her, insinuating the black man got what he deserved after being hit by a police car. Gwendolyn Carter shared her bigot views on response that Timmy Patman, a black man who was struck by Officer Tyler vehicle in Alton, Georgia. Thugs deserve it, and if a family member, so be it. However, I do not have any thugs in my family that I am aware of. Seem to be people of color who are the problem, Carter wrote. Now, the woman neighbor, Marsha Washington, in Kensaw resident, was upset after learning that her neighbor made those disturbing remarks. She made a racist statement. Washington told WSB-TV, "It does bother me that she would generalize us and make us as if we were thugs, because our raising thugs, and I'm raising three African American sons." Social media user contact UPS, and Carter was fired from her job on Monday. She worked with the company for 25 years. UPS has no tolerance for hate, bigotry, or prejudice. The company embraced diversity and inclusion as one of its core values. The comments Ms. Carter shared in response to WSB-TV story does not reflect of UPS values or culture, the UPS statements read. Okay, give me a second. That's all to read, so okay, here we go. Okay. Now, it's sad because this is a person in authority. And this is from UPS, United Parcel Service. I'm going to share a story with y'all. I had a job working at United Parcel Service out here in New Jersey. And the manager, or the top man, glorified me working there. And he had no problem with me. In fact, he was honored that I was there. And he asked me I went there as a temp assignment, and he asked me to stay there even longer because he was really happy with my work. Now, he was the boss man. And when started traveling around, he introduced me to big partners stuff coming to visit at Edison, UPS. And what he couldn't see was that I was two spirits, but the other people saw it as two spirit. Back then, I didn't have my name changed as of yet, but I looked it just like I was not a man. I looked like a woman. So by them looking at me, the conversation got started. At this time, of course, I had breasts and everything. The only difference is I didn't have my name changed. But to them, they saw a woman there. Conversation went back to him. He felt uncomfortable with me there. Now, remind you, he had no problem with me there. But once they saw who I was, and they have the conversation with him, I'm speculating, because after they left, the shift in the department changed. People stopped conversation with me. And there was a girl that came into the office where I was working, because I was doing data entry. And she came and said to me, it was a white girl, she said something is going on and something is bad is about to happen. Now, she said with me, I had no idea what she was talking about, because I was there to work and I was doing a great job because the boss, but I kind of knew something was wrong. You had that gut feeling, you know what I mean? But I wasn't sure, because sometimes being a two-spirit person, you always think like people are against you, so I wasn't sure. So as me working, taking phone calls, stuff like that, and you know, she sat there with me, and the other white woman called me to the office, and she looked at me funny, and I noted it, but I wasn't going to say anything. And because already the first white woman came inside and had a conversation with me, told me something's going. The second one, who was bossing the man, now she was the second one bossing the man. Now the one who was her boss was a white man. They were all three white people. In fact, there was 4 white people in charge. And my speculation, again, I'm not really sure, but I did notice a shift in the room when the other people came inside that saw me. They introduced them to me. It was a black guy that stood there. He stared at me really hard. I knew he knew what I was. Now, I'm not sure if he should have the conversation. I'm not sure. I'm not going to blame him. But a conversation was had with the boss. The boss went to his lower boss, which means that basically he was the bigger boss. The other girl was like a shorter, I guess a lower level boss that hired me to come there to work. Then was a white girl that came inside, and she was having a conversation with me, letting me know that something was going on behind the scenes. And I asked her, did she know what I was? And she said, yes, I knew exactly what you was. I said, did you know I had boobs? She said, yes, I knew exactly what you had. She said, I watched you try to hide it, but I knew what you were. And I believe the other white woman, she knew what I was too, but she didn't care. Now I remind you, 3 white women there didn't care what I was, because they knew I was there to work, but the white men had a problem with what I was. So, and the reason why I knew it came from him, because when he was praising me, and then when I would be in the break room, he'd walk in there, he would see me, he would freeze and would run back out. And I'd be like, well, what's wrong with him now? He was crazy about me, but he's acting really funny. So he kind of gave himself away how he felt about me. So, what could I do? What could I do? They was letting me know something was happening, but not directly letting me know. So, the fact that I made it uncomfortable for him, I know it's off the topic, I made it uncomfortable for him. When I left that day, my temp agency told me I didn't have to come back anymore. I was out of a job. I was out of work. And I would have complained about it, but at that time, I was a temp. I felt like I had no substance. I couldn't say anything because temp assignments are really funny that way. You're tempted to see if you could fit the job and stuff like that, and can you do the job? And clearly I could do the job, and they was very happy with my work. And when the people came in and he was celebrating me with the other people that was as part, I'm not sure who they was, when he came in showing to me, they all froze when they saw me. And anybody that's two-spirit, we know that look when people catch on to who we are. And that whole time, the shift in the room changed. What I was once praised there at UPS, I was no longer praised there anymore. And I knew at that point, it was a matter of time. When I got in my car, I was on the way home, I got a phone call from the agency. They said, you don't have to come back tomorrow. I was like, wait, she said, I don't know what happened, but you don't have to come back. I said, it was something I did. She says, I don't know. She said, they were praising you, they're letting you go now. I said, okay. I didn't get upset. I just let it go. I knew what it was. The girl who came in the room let me know she knew what I was. The other lady said she stood there looking at me, and I knew she couldn't say nothing because that would have reflected her job. So even though she maybe wanted to say something, she didn't say anything because she knew, what could I do? That's my boss. But at the end of the day, I wasn't going to be eating because of who I was. Now I could do the job, and I did the job, and they was very proud of me of doing my job till they defined out who I was, and I was let go. And I was doing data entry, customer service inside the back. I was very good at what I do, and they let me go anyway. And that started my hardship of job searching and stuff. And even though the agency and stuff told me they would find me work, it became problematic. Even though they found me some more work with after that. But it also became problematic because of who I was. It was no longer the fact that I do the job. It was the fact of who I was. And discrimination is on the uprise. And now Trump is in office. He's exercising it is okay to put people out of jobs. So when they're putting people out of jobs, and people are homeless, and people on the train, and people are basically trying to survive the best way they can, we're closing our eyes to this. And we can't find no way to do with them, then we're now locking them up, putting them in jail. But I just wanted to share this there with you. And you know, it's funny because I wasn't even thinking about this when I did this story. Just when the UPS thing, it clicked in my head, and I was like, discrimination. And it's amazing. And I know it's like, discrimination was the fact of saying black people thugs get shot. It's a little way off the subject, but it was discrimination. And I'm saying this is like a higher power bosses that's inside of these jobs. And the reason why I'm saying this, because somebody that may be a higher power that's inside of UPS may say, you know what, I'm gonna change the way I see people, and maybe this video will make them think, I'm gonna help people. I'm gonna be a person that's gonna create history, because somebody is suffering and trying to make a good life for themselves and living. And I don't care about your gender, your race, your religion. If you could come and do this job every day and you show up every day on time, that's all my concern is. Let's work as a family unit. Let's help each other in this world. And I know we're not all going to sing Kumbaya, but at the end of the day, we have to try to find ways to help each other out, because at the end of the day, people are dying on these streets. Anyway, like I said before, I love you if you're back in this, and I like you subscribe to my channel and share this video and stuff. And maybe you have somebody you working at UPS or anywhere that got discrimination. Maybe you could try to start a thing as far as helping people in the struggle, whatever gender, whatever race. We have to try to find ways to bridge the gap, because I feel like a lot of people who have no problem with people get to pay the cost for people who have problems with people. Like we're being silenced out, being caught in the oopala that has nothing to do with us. Anyway, I love you if you're back in this. Like I said before, subscribe to my channel, let you know I love you, and thank you for watching. Catch the rain.